demonstration. Welcome, everyone. Danger in America. Why is Elon Musk taking billions from NASA? What does DOGE have to do with our personal information? What is DOGE doing with our personal information? According to the Democrats and according to those that is against Trump, they feel like America is in danger. Now, on the other side of things, from the Republicans and those that do like Trump, they feel as though America is moving in the course that America needs to be moving in. Salute to my moderators. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to the chat. Top flight, positive vibes, Miss Parker. Salute. What is your opinion? Do you ride with Democrats and those that don't support Trump as far as believing that America is in danger? Or do you ride with the Republicans and those that support Trump as far as America is moving in a good direction? Salute, Coffee Girl. Now, it's going to get ugly, and in my opinion, it's not going to get ugly because of the executive orders that Trump signed off on. That's not what's going to make America get ugly. It don't have nothing to do with those executive orders. It has to do with his supporters and his non-supporters. They still cannot come to a common ground. Now, I'm neutral. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm neutral. What I see is danger coming in America, but not because of the executive orders. It's because the two sides just can't get along. 30% of what Trump says and does, I disagree with. So I'm over here with those that disagree with Trump. But I'm only over there 30% of it. And I've spoke on certain things that I was against when it came to Donald Trump. We haven't even reached a month. We might be, okay. Let me backtrack. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. He's been in office 3 weeks and a couple days. He hasn't even finished out this year. But then after he finishes out this year, he got 3 more years to go. I'm worried. And the reason why I'm worried is because of the changes that Donald Trump is making. He's making a lot of changes. Now, another thing that I agree with Donald Trump, allegedly they're saying that, the food stamps, the EBT cards, they're saying that Trump is making it where as though they can't buy snacks, unhealthy snacks. Let me just say that, because an orange, an apple can be a snack. So what they're saying is Trump wants it where as though with the EBT cards, they cannot purchase potato chips, cookies, cakes, and ice cream. My opinion, I agree with it. I see a lot of those that get food stamps. I see majority of the groceries that's in their baskets, that's in their carts, is unhealthy food. I know, Shank, that's what Project 2025 is about. Shank, I told you he's trying to be a dictator. Shank, he can't tell us how to eat. If we want to eat unhealthy foods, then we can eat unhealthy foods. And you know what? You're absolutely right. If you're using your money to purchase the unhealthy food, the unhealthy snacks, it's government assistance. So it's not your money. And that's one thing that you got to understand. Anything that comes from the government is not yours. Especially America has one of the highest rates in the world of diabetes. We got more cases in America of those that are suffering from diabetes than all over the world. We all know what comes along with the junk foods. See, I was talking to someone earlier today. And when the people have to take accountability, when the people have to straighten up and do right, the people is always angry. I always resort back to the Bible. Whenever God would bring the people out of bondage, whenever God would bring the people out of slavery and things of that nature, they will always fall back to their wicked ways. They will always transgress. They will always fall back. They were never happy. This is our biggest problems as Americans. When it comes to doing right, we won't do right. We got a problem with doing right. But let's go to some legal experts. Now, they're actually protesting, and the protesters are chanting, "No one voted for Elon Musk," as federal layoffs begin.
I think the person who currently occupies the White House has no business being there and is making a chaotic mess of our country.
It's just ridiculous that these things are going unchecked.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Elon Musk has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Elon Musk has got to go.
If you bought a mattress today, no judgment, but that is how thousands of our fellow Americans decided to spend their day today. It is what is being called the Not My President's Day protests. They are protesting in Portland, Oregon, in Vancouver, Washington, in Orlando, in Arizona, in Utah, in West Virginia, holding signs that say, "No kings, where law ends, tyranny begins." In Houston, chanting, "No one voted for Elon Musk." Organizers say the protests are in response to, quote, "the anti-democratic and illegal actions of the Trump administration, including what can only be described at this point as a purge across multiple government institutions."
Now, I do agree, even though Elon Musk might be doing good, I haven't come to the conclusion whether or not Elon Musk is going to be of benefit for the country. I haven't reached that conclusion yet, but I will agree with the protesters now. I will. No one voted Elon Musk in. And I stand on that. So I'm with the protesters when it comes to them saying no one voted for Elon Musk.
Like the VA, which provides health care to America's veterans, and USAID, which provides humanitarian aid all around the globe. and the Department of Education, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and the National Animal Health Laboratory Network, which in plain English, they're the people who protect us from the next bird flu, or the one that's here now. But as the Trump administration is learning, when you use a blunt instrument instead of a scalpel or a budget plan to suddenly and abruptly shrink government agencies, you end up kneecapping the things that are actually essential to American life and Americans and their family safety and a family's money. And you take a blowtorch to all American institutions, as the Trump administration is doing. People tend to rise up and protest. The other thing that happens, well, stuff usually backfires. Like how it backfired when the Trump administration fired nuclear safety workers whose agency oversees the nation's nuclear stockpile. And then after firing them, thought, uh-oh, maybe we need those guys. They are now trying to unfire them, but they can't because they're struggling to find them because they didn't have their new contact information. Or the decision to fire hundreds of FAA employees just as that agency is reeling after the deadly collision at Reagan National Airport less than 1 month ago. Air safety, nuclear weapons, they're at the tippy top of things that all Americans, regardless of their ideological leanings, want their government to get right. They don't want to think about those things or worry about those things.
Is America in trouble? Is America in trouble? Another plane went down. How many planes in this year already have went down? Y'all remember, it was a while. It was some years. You know, I believe maybe one plane crash incident, maybe in the last 2 or 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. But have y'all noticed, why are these planes going down? Another plane has went down. Why? What is really going on? Who is trying to send a message to us? What's the message that they're trying to send? What is going on?
Another thing at the top of the list for most humans, keeping our most personal financial information safe, which is why what's happening at the IRS with our personal information, potentially banking information, is sounding so many alarms for so many people. Not only has the Trump administration identified 15,000 employees for possible termination, but now the Washington Post is reporting Elon Musk's DOGE team is seeking access to, quote, a heavily guarded IRS system.
Stop right there. Musk. Do y'all realize what's going on? Elon Musk U.S. DOGE service is seeking access to a heavily guarded internal revenue service system that includes detailed financial information about every taxpayer, business, and nonprofit in, let me see,
that includes detailed financial information
the country.
About every taxpayer, business, and nonprofit in the country, sparking alarm within the tax agency, quote.
Now, I will come down to the chat. Y'all help me better understand this. What is Elon actually doing? Coffee Girl says we should be demanding what information those Chinese spy balloons gathered while hovering over the U.S. for a week. That may have something to do with all the planes. Salute Miss G. Salute 80s baby. Salute everybody. The Blue Bird agrees with Coffee Girl. Can somebody explain to me, why do Elon Musk. Why is Elon Musk DOGE service seeking access to heavily guarded internal revenue service systems? Tammy says Musk has a top secret service clearance. He wouldn't do anything to mess that up. Can we trust him? Can we trust him though? You know what I mean? How many of y'all trust Elon Musk? Tammy says to clean up the waste. Coffee Girl says follow the money and you'll find the scandal. Miss G says I don't. This is the 30%. This is part of the 30%. See, for me, Top Flight says I read on Newsbreak plane crash in Toronto. I did my research, boo. I heard the same thing. Now, whether the plane flipped over, whether the plane ran out of gas, however, they labeled it as a plane crash. They labeled it as a plane going down. So however y'all want to flip it and strip it and pimp it, it's up to y'all. If y'all want to make it that the plane didn't crash, that's fine. But I'm with Top Flight. This is what I heard. I heard the same thing. Plane down, plane crash. Tammy says it's a simple audit. I don't understand why people are so bothered. I mean, why wouldn't they be bothered, Tammy? Salute D-Money. D-Money says that boy got a fuse box on his back. I mean, why wouldn't be bothered? Why wouldn't we be bothered? I mean, why wouldn't we be bothered? I'm bothered. You know, see, for me, and I ride it neutral. I'm not going to agree with everything Donald Trump says. Salute Allison. Appreciate you for pulling up, Allison. Salute Allison.
Under pressure from the White House, the IRS is considering a memorandum of understanding that would give officials from DOGE, broad access to tax agency systems, property, and data sets. Again, nuclear warheads, air travel safety for everybody getting on a plane, all of our most personal financial information. That's what they have their hands in today. Let's bring in some of our favorite reporters and friends. The president of Media Matters for America, Angelo Carasone, is back. Also joining us, Washington Post national investigative correspondent Carol Leonnig is back, and the publisher of The Bulwark, host to the Focus Group podcast, political strategist Sarah Longwell is back. Carol, the Post has some extraordinary reporting and really is the home paper for many of the federal workers who are impacted. This is well beyond sort of where the rhetoric meets the audacity of Trumpism in terms of slashing and shrinking the federal workforce. This is dismantling things that have never been touched because there's no appetite among the public for dismantling them.
Coffee Girl says, I trust him because he doesn't have to steal from us. He's uncovering tax dollars that have gone to NGOs we're not aware of. Tammy says, what are you so worried about? Do you think Musk will at Best Buy account in your name? Blue Burn says, you seem level-headed too, all views, Shank. And that's my standpoint on everything. I do my best to keep a level head, you know, whereas though some things I can approve of, some things I can say, wait a minute. You know, wait a minute. But remember, that's what we're here for. We're here to hear different opinions. I can come before you all and I can tell y'all what I think, and I could push it as if what I'm saying is official. You know, I could not take y'all opinions, but that's not what I wanted this platform to be about. I wanted the platform to be about us, you know, so hopefully we all can learn something new. Hopefully we all can learn something different. So I see you, Positive Vibes. Top Flight, I see y'all down there. Salute, Sweet Babe. Salute, Sweet Babe. Macy D, salute. Coffee Girl, I see y'all. The Troublemakers, I see y'all.
So right, Nicole. I really do have to give a shout out to the team at the Washington Post that has been drinking from this fire hose. That's just an unbelievable funnel every day of tips and information and leads and indicating a host of agencies all weekend long under assault. Interesting President's Weekend for a bunch of people to be notified that they're likely going to be fired, or they are, or to have their laptops turned off and their email access severed. But it is an endless barrage for those federal employees. And before we start to get out the violins about civil servants and how distressing this is for people's lives, we do have to think about the public. Every single agency you mentioned touches somebody's life. I've seen farmers taking to social media in a way that they've never before, complaining that this blunt instrument basically denied them their access to a conservation agent who has helped them for decades with their farming and with their finances. And now they are, out of luck. I have seen a host of people complaining about whether or not they're going to get on a regional jet because they have close friends who've been terminated, whose job is making sure that equipment and safety is paramount, and certainly at every airport, but especially in busy airports. And now people are wondering, is that going to be safe? There's a more subtle thing, Nicole, that you and I have talked a lot about. The more subtle is the rule of law. Countries that get rid of and frighten all of their career public servants at the Department of Justice and the FBI who investigate corruption and bribery essentially end up with a country where bribery and corruption rules. And that's a big worry for a lot of the people that I talk to as well. There's so much here, and the access to the IRS information is of course worrisome because it's not a national security matter. The DOGE folks have said they have all the appropriate security clearances. This is information that you only get to access if you have an operational and really workforce reason to have access to it. And the blunt instrument that's being used by DOGE so often has been inexact, has been a little bit careless, as we can talk about a little bit more about the probationary employees. And so when they start to ransack through some of the most sensitive information about your financial records, your taxes, your decision-making with your finances, people are reasonably very worried.
I mean, look, and I guess, and y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, I guess this is a case of individual, like I don't agree with him having access to my personal information, but the next person might agree with it. Y'all get where I'm coming from? I'm just keeping it 100. I don't want him having access to my personal information. Even if he was voted in, even if he was hired in, I still wouldn't want anybody, I don't care who they are. Me personally, I wouldn't want nobody having access to my information. And I'll tell you why. Today or tomorrow, Elon Musk could go broke. Today or tomorrow, Elon Musk could lose it all. Right? Who can we agree with that? Today or tomorrow, Elon Musk could lose it all. Lose all investments, all stocks, and just completely go broke. What happens if that happens? What do y'all think he's going to do? See, for me, I always prepare for the worst. Like some people, oh, Shank Rock, that would never happen. How do you know it would never happen? How do we know it wouldn't happen? Jeffrey says all he has to do is lose his government contracts. The Blue Burn says Musk won't lose at all. Tammy says, but it doesn't bother you that IRS employees have access to all your banking info. I said it. It all bothers me, Tammy. Anybody that got access to my information, it bothers me. Frank says, nah, bro, that is the weakest argument I think I heard. The Blue Burn says he's worth billions and billions. The Blue Burn says he won't lose it all in a day. Macy says, who I believe that's voted. Salute, Coffee Girl. Appreciate the super chat, Coffee Girl. I'm trying, Coffee Girl. I'm trying. And with so many disagreements, you know, and this is why I tell everybody, get a super chat. A super chat is what Coffee Girl purchased. I read all super chats. With the chat being lopsided, this person agreeing, this person disagreeing. With people calling me names, with the troublemakers roasting me, that I gotta stay away from that chat. Because if I entertain that chat, I'm gonna get tripped up and I'm gonna lose focus. So if y'all want me to read your comments, if y'all got questions or answers, please purchase a super chat. See, already I done lost focus because Coffee Girl and Positive Vibes and the rest of them want to roast me. It ain't funny, Miss Parker. Now let me get back to my demonstration. All right. Tammy says you should watch more news than CNN. I watch more news than CNN. Would y'all like, let me just say this, all right? Would y'all like for me to shut the platform down from being an open platform and not take any of y'all advice, not take any of y'all opinions, only speak? Would y'all like for me to do that? Then my platform wouldn't be the platform that I set out for it to be. I can. Now I can come before y'all. I can come before y'all. Contrary to what y'all believe or think, I know a lot about politics. I know a lot. But I still know that there's more for me to learn. And I'm still willing to take everybody's else opinion. Appreciate that super chat, Miss Parker. Appreciate that super chat, Miss Parker. So what I'll do, and this is why I be trying to tell y'all, I don't like entertaining the chat. I gotta stay away from the chat. You know what I mean? I shut it down and won't read nobody comments and just basically tell y'all what I think. I can do that. But I know that I'm the only platform where you can pull up and voice your opinion and the host will take your opinion. Now I can shut it down. Ain't no problem. Appreciate the super chat, Miss Parker. Appreciate the super chat, Miss Parker. So I just start reading comments. We'll do it like that. And I just tell y'all what I think. Instead of taking opinions. No problem.
It may be Donald Trump's administration, but it's certainly Elon Musk's priorities and business conflicts. We're seeing that with a new target.
So as you heard, let me replay it.
It may be Donald Trump's administration, but it's certainly Elon Musk's priorities.
So it may be Donald Trump's administration, but it's Elon Musk's priorities. That's a fact. That's a fact. It may be Trump's administration, but it's Elon Musk's priorities. Elon Musk isn't even the president. So how is everything his priorities? This is how Elon Musk is ruining the country, along with Donald Trump's help. Appreciate that super chat, Coffee Girl. No, we appreciate you, Shanky Leg. Appreciate that super chat, Coffee Girl. So you heard it out my man's mouth. It's Trump's administration, but it's Elon Musk's priorities.
And business conflicts. We're seeing that with a new target he has for government cuts. NASA, Musk teams were there walking into a conflict of interest because his SpaceX rocket company, which, as we've covered, is effective, does all sorts of important things, is also not just a contractor, but one of NASA's largest contractors, to the tune of $14 billion since some of their most important engagements began in 2015. There are concerns about fair competition in contracting, the influence over NASA's direction.
So now Musk wants Trump to let him audit NASA, and now Musk is taking billions from NASA. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. How is it that Elon Musk wants Trump to let him audit NASA so he can take billions of dollars from NASA? Elon Musk allegedly is a bigger crook than Donald Trump. I said it.
Whether funding priorities will shift in favor of Musk's own ventures. That is a very sort of open-ended or respectful way to put it in a Newsweek report. Of course, Elon Musk is renowned above all else for being good at his business, which involves bringing money towards his business. And he is basically daring anyone to stop him, or yes, you would expect him to continue to do that.
And that's all Elon Musk is interested in. That's all. He's not interested in nothing more or nothing less. Elon Musk is interested in his business. I'm sure that y'all could see that. He has no place. He has no place in the White House. How is it that he hasn't been voted in and he's over Donald Trump? Y'all got to really make that make sense. Can y'all at least make that make sense?
And in terms of fairness to Mr. Musk, he has not publicly announced stepping back from his business goals in any way, while also using this new special government role. Musk has also gone at NASA for all sorts of things. They didn't agree, for example, on a staff mission to Mars. Asked about the conflicts of interest on Tuesday, remember, we told you we were going to fact check all this? The White House is hiding Mr. Musk's basic financials. So
the White House is hiding the basic finances of Elon Musk. That's what the White House is doing. The White House is hiding his basic finances.
Not being transparent. They have decided that they're going to just use words like transparency or free speech and then do the opposite and see how long they get away with it. Here was a moment from that unusual set of statements in the Oval Office.
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say, like, wait a second, hey, Elon, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. I don't like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately.
None of that's true. And if someone's watching randomly and they are predisposed to liking Mr. Musk for whatever reason, his fame, his politics, his, again, legitimate business success.
I see you, E-Beck. Salute, E-Beck. I see you. I'm with the Democrats and those that are against Elon. Make sure y'all double tap the screen. We got 450 watching with only 22 likes. Double tap the screen and get my likes up. I'm with the Democrats on this one. I'm with everyone that's against Elon Musk. He has no place. He wasn't voted in. Elon Musk must go. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
They might say, well, he said that it must be true, or it must be largely true, or partly true. Well, maybe that's one of the things that he's been effective at, which we've also seen in politics. He just moves it all the way over here, but it's not true at all. They are not disclosing even his basic financials, let alone transparency around what they're doing at the different agencies, who the people are they've hired, the level of vetting and security clearances for all of Musk's people.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Some things, it's a no-brainer. With the transgender men that wants to play in all-female sports, it's a no-brainer. That's negative. No male with a man's instrument that was born with a man's instrument belong playing in any all-female sport. See, some things, whether you agree with Trump or whether you disagree with Trump, some things are no-brainers. Some things that, even if you're a Trump supporter, some things that you should automatically know what Trump is doing ain't right. If you against Trump, some things that he's doing, you should already know, well, even though I don't agree with him, and even though I may not like him, but I agree with him. It's no-brainers. Elon Musk, it's a no-brainer. Elon Musk doesn't belong where he is at. He don't. He's showing y'all. And I've been around enough crooks to know. I mean, come on. Elon Musk must go.
If there's any wall between his business interests and what he's doing for the government, the data and sensitive materials that he's getting a hold of, is there any written restrictions on how that goes back to him enriching himself or using government access to go at his competitors? Zero transparency on that. And it is, again, Musk that Trump is empowering for some very controversial explorations, like an order to try to see if they can get away with having agencies remove probationary workers. Those are people who've been there under 2 years. It could affect about 200,000 people. It may be, depending on what the courts find, one of the ways they can get around some of these civil service protections. We're joined now by Atlantic staff writer and MSNBC contributor, Mark Leibovich, the author of Thank You for Your Service, Donald Trump's Washington and the Price of Submission. Happy Friday, happy Valentine's Day, Mark.
Thanks, Eric. Good to be with you.
Great to have you. Some things are complicated. Let's start simple. We don't need to be complicated for no reason. What do you see, given the journalist and chronicler you are, in Elon Musk saying the opposite of the truth? Not a shaded version, not what in the old days we would call spin, but just screaming that he's transparent when he won't even take, for example, a cabinet position that requires more legally binding disclosure or release his financials.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting jujitsu here. I mean, what you said is true. I mean, obviously, this is not transparency, but his nonchalance in some ways is basically an admission, which is saying that, yeah, this is transparent and that I'm standing here and I'm not really disputing it and I don't really care. And also implicitly, Donald Trump's voters don't really care, which I think is probably true. I mean, he didn't say that explicitly, but that's the implication here, which is that Donald Trump is not going to lose any support because Elon Musk looks like he's getting a special deal here to enrich himself on government contracts,
And he is. And if you talk to the average Trump supporter, the average Trump supporter agrees with everything that Trump says and does. The average Trump supporter. Trump can't do no wrong. I even spoke about Trump's character. Trump supporters, Shank, don't make a difference what kind of character he got. Shank, long as he gets the job done. I'm a man that grew up on character. I'm a man that grew up on character. Your character says a lot about you. And I'm a man that grew up on character. No matter what you are, no matter what you become, your character is what's going to determine how the people are going to treat you. Are you solid? Are you a solid person? I come from that reality. I come from that world. Your character, a man's character says it all. That tells it all about that man. The average Trump supporter could care less about Trump's character. I disagree with that. You got to have something that you stand for. So that's part of the 30% that I disagree with, his character. And I said it and I voiced it over and over again. I'm looking for a change in Trump. I'm looking for Trump to realize I have a lot of people that's looking up to me. And even though I'm the president of the United States of America, I'm still obligated. I'm still obligated as a man, as a father, as a husband, as the president. I'm obligated to be the best man that I can be. Is it anything wrong with wanting your president to be a decent human being? That's all I'm saying. Is it anything wrong with that?
It's true or not. I mean, I think the fact is they are dealing with a level of bandwidth and a level of sort of consequence-free environment that Trump world is sort of affording Donald Trump, which extends right now to Elon Musk. I think the larger issue is how much goodwill does Elon Musk ultimately have, one with the public, but also with Donald Trump. I mean, at some point, this is going to be such a distraction, perhaps, that Donald Trump might feel like, you know, why is everyone talking about this guy? Why is everyone asking questions about this guy? Is it hurting my larger agenda?
Do you think they've hit that point that Musk is overshadowing?
They don't seem to think so, because look, every day, I mean, he's doing a joint interview tonight with Sean Hannity and Donald Trump. So, I think we can look at body language, but I mean, we saw body language a couple days ago. It certainly looked awkward, but obviously didn't stop them from agreeing to doing a joint interview tonight. So, look, again, I think ultimately Donald Trump might see Elon Musk as a force multiplier, someone who can sort of double the disruption that he's trying to provide right off the bat. He feels there's a benefit to it. Again, you know, Donald Trump's history of wanting to share a stage with people, whether it's an ally or an adversary, is not great. Usually there's a shelf life to these things.
And we're going to move on. We're going to move on. When it comes to Elon Musk, I disagree with it. Like I said, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what the future holds. But as of right now, I'm in disagreement with Elon Musk having the power that he has. It's Trump's administration as the president, but it's Elon Musk's priorities. He running the show. Would it have to do with all of that money that Elon Musk donated to Trump? That's why Elon is able to run the show? Because you sent some super chats, Coffee Girl. I'm going to read your comments. Salute, amazing, beautiful. Salute, amazing, beautiful. Appreciate you. Coffee Girl says, nothing wrong with wanting your president to be decent. But let's not just walk by Biden's last minute pardons like he was a moral high ground. And you're absolutely right, Coffee Girl. However, Joe Biden is past tense. He's gone. Sleepy Joe, and I was on Sleepy Joe's head when he was in office. See, for me, whoever's in office, that's who I'm focusing on. Sleepy Joe, in my opinion, Sleepy Joe was the worstest president that I've seen. And I was born in the 70s. But like I said, Sleepy Joe is no longer in office. So I can't speak on Sleepy Joe. But let's move on. Like I said, with Elon, I disagree with that move. You know, he got access to all of our personal information. I disagree with it.
Courtney, President Zelensky saying ahead of these talks that Ukraine's future remains uncertain without continued U.S. support. What does U.S. support of Ukraine look like right now?
So over the past 3 years, the U.S. has poured about $50 billion worth of weapons and equipment into Ukraine. There's another $20 billion that are already committed to Ukraine. But the big question, Jose, is will that $20 billion worth of equipment, much of it is spaced out over months and even years.
I disagree with Trump when he said when he get in office, he's going to make one phone call and the Russia and Ukraine war is going to stop. Well, he made that phone call. He made that phone call, right? He made that phone call. Now, these is Donald Trump's words. See, I can give y'all the good. I can tell y'all the things that Trump said he was going to do, and then when he got in office, he did it. But I got to be able to come back and tell y'all things that he said he was going to do, but he didn't do. And that funky ass orange man said that one phone call, that Russia and Ukraine war was going to be over with. Well, that funky ass orange man made that phone call, and that Russia and Ukraine war hasn't stopped. I'm just saying.
Will that actually make its way to Ukraine? And the reality is we just aren't getting good answers to that question. Right now, we are awaiting what's going to happen out of these talks tomorrow in Saudi Arabia to see if there's some sort of an agreement. But I just spent the weekend in Munich speaking with dozens and dozens of officials from countries all over the world, many of them Europe and Eastern Europe. And there was one consistent concern here, and that is about those security guarantees that the United States and the world needs to provide to Ukraine if, in fact, there's going to be a ceasefire and then any kind of an enduring peace. United States senior officials in the Trump administration called those security guarantees directly into question last week, starting with the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who made in prepared remarks to the Ukraine Defense Contact Group on Wednesday. Just for perspective, the Ukrainian defense minister sitting 3 seats away from him, he said that the United States does not see Ukraine as a member of NATO being a realistic eventuality or realistic outcome of these discussions. Jose, that caused a firestorm among U.S. allies, close U.S. allies who've been working to help support Ukraine for these last 3+ years. People are very concerned about what these security guarantees will really look like. And I know that Trump administrations have been defending the fact, or Trump administration officials have been defending the fact that the United States in this preliminary discussions, whatever we want to call is happening in Saudi Arabia, the U.S. meeting directly with Russia, and that there would be follow-on conversations with Zelensky. European officials are also meeting in Paris today as part of this emergency summit. The reason that they are so concerned about not being a part of these early discussions is another theme that also came out of Trump administration officials last week, and that is the need for Europe to take over more of its own defenses. The reason that there has been such a groundswell of concern about these bilateral discussions between U.S. and Russia is, on one hand, the Trump administration is saying, Europe, Ukraine, you need to take over more responsibility for your own security. But hey, at the same time, we're going to have discussions about Europe and Ukraine's security without involving any of you. That is the disconnect that is causing so much concern. That is the disconnect that has led these European leaders to meet in Paris today while the U.S. is meeting separately with Russia in Saudi Arabia, Jose.
Courtney Kube, thank you so very much. And Joel, just wondering your thoughts on, and Courtney brought up this issue of this disconnect that appears to be growing, and the fact that, you've got the leaders of most Western European nations meeting right now in Paris. What's the message you think the Trump administration is sending by holding these talks, not in Europe, but in Riyadh?
Why didn't Trump hold these meetings in Europe? See, y'all gotta pay attention. And many of y'all that think that y'all know what's going on, y'all don't. I'm talking about those that don't see the error that Trump is making. I see the error that he making. And if I say one good thing about Trump, I get my head chopped off. Now, if I can see an error that he's making, it's a mistake that he's making with Elon Musk. I'm telling y'all, trust me on it. Trust me, 70% of what Trump says and does is good. 30% is bad. The move with Elon Musk is bad. It's a bad move. Who can't see that? Who can't see that? Drop a 5. Drop a 5 in the chat if you can see that the move with Trump and Elon Musk is a bad move. Drop a 5 if you agree that that's a bad move. I got to take Coffee Girl's comment because Coffee Girl been sending super chats. Coffee Girl says, isn't that the station that was paid from? Come on, Coffee Girl. I got you, D-Money. I got you. I see you, D-Money. I see y'all down there. I see y'all down there. It's a no-brainer. And I like Trump. I like Trump. But it's a no-brainer. And as Americans, that's part of our problems because we won't see both sides. All it takes is for us to not like you. All it takes is for us to like you, and we won't see both sides. Some of us can give criticism. Some of us can't take criticism. Bad move, Trump supporters. That's all I'm saying. And I like Trump. 70% I agree with him on. 30% I disagree. And I'm going to tell y'all why it's a bad move. It's a bad move with Elon Musk because he wasn't voted in. Nobody voted him in. Nobody elected him for that position. That's the first mistake. That's the first mistake. Oh, he gets special privileges because he's a billionaire. He gets special privileges because that's Trump's man. Well, how do y'all feel that Trump put him in that position, but Trump got to bow down to him? Look at it. Look at the picture. Just look at it. Now, and this is going to determine, all right? Now, I need honest answers. Honest answers. All right? And this will determine whether or not my audio get ready to mess up, y'all, so give me a minute. My audio get ready to mess up. But I'm going to ask a question, and I want y'all to give honest answers. Be honest, all right? All right, y'all, we back. Now, here's my question. And I'm going to take the answers from the chat. When Elon Musk had his son, and what did his son tell Donald Trump? Didn't Elon Musk tell Donald Trump, shut up? Didn't Elon Musk tell Donald Trump, you ain't the president? Yes or no? Somebody. You're not the president. Ain't that what he said? Positive vibes, amazing, beautiful, 80s baby. I mean, see, we got to be honest, y'all. Tracy, yes, I heard him say it. Come on, y'all. Look. We got to be honest. We got to be honest. If it's nothing else, gotta be honest. Frank says he's 4 years old. What are you talking about? Allison says yes. All I want to know is, I don't want to know how old he is. I don't want to know none of that. But did he say it? That's no respect. That's no respect at all. Ebeck says, oh Lord, but his son's name is XYZ or something. Tammy says he wasn't talking to Donald Trump. He told the reporters to be quiet. Blaming a 4-year-old is reaching. Top Flight says, unseen, I wouldn't doubt it. These platforms bigger than what we think. Oh yeah, y'all, they've been watching my platform. They've been watching my platform. Amazing Beautiful says, if the child was sitting in that room, then he has sat in other rooms. He's smart. Got to pay attention. Facts. T. Lee says, exactly. Can't listen to a Banamy goodness. No, he didn't stop lying. Frank, well, that proves it now. The 4-year-old is right. Come on, y'all. Come on. And even, come on, y'all. Elon Musk's son is a disrespectful child. Regardless of who the child said it to, that's a disrespectful child. Yes or no? Drop a 1. Drop a 1 if you think Elon Musk's son is disrespectful. Drop a 2 if you think he's not respectful. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, I know they about to cancel my black ass. I tried to do an open platform. I tried it that way, but they pull up. Oh, you need to do your research, Shank Rock. Oh, you don't know nothing, Shank Rock. So I'm going to tell y'all what I know. And I promise y'all, what I'm saying to y'all is facts. I ain't reaching. I ain't talking no BS like most of y'all do. I'm giving y'all facts. That's a very disrespectful child. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing about that, right? That went over y'all heads. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Amazing Beautiful says, should have never been front and center like that, period. But them type of people privileged. What the child, the most richest man on earth, is disrespect. Come on, man. I'm just keeping it 100. What did y'all really get out of Kendrick Lamar? That's another thing gonna let me know what type of people I'm dealing with. What did y'all get out of Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance? Did y'all get anything out of the performance? Or was y'all those that was on the sideline hating? Was y'all those on the sideline that was talking bad about it? Come on, people. Come on. All right, I see the ball. I see the ball jokes. Y'all go roll. You see what you done started? Positive Vibes and Miss Parker and Top Flight and Coffee Girl. Y'all see what y'all done started? Y'all got all the troublemakers down there with y'all. It ain't funny. It ain't fun. Now everybody calling me ball. That's all good though. That's good. I'm good. I'm glad y'all roasting me. I'm good. Keep on roasting me. But come on, y'all. We gotta keep it 100. And I thought we was gonna keep it 100. I let y'all roast me. I let y'all roast me all y'all want. But y'all gotta keep it real. Ain't no pleading the fifth, Top Flight. Ain't no pleading the fifth. Y'all gotta keep it real. That's all I ask for over here. Keep it real. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Now some of y'all saying that Elon Musk's son wasn't talking to Donald Trump. Some of y'all are saying because Elon Musk is rich, the child can't be disrespectful. Come on, people. Come on, people. Come on, people. Come on, people.
Well,
Jose, the disconnect is real and it is intentional. What could have happened last week in Munich is that the United States could have worked with our allies to develop a common position and negotiate them with Vladimir Putin from a position of strength alongside Ukraine. But that's not what's happening. Instead, a cold message was sent to Europe about basically you're on your own here. And now it looks like Donald Trump is chasing Vladimir Putin to come up with some agreement to then force Ukraine to accept. So
let me ask y'all this. All my roasters, Positive Vibes, Miss Parker, Top Flight, Coffee Girl, 80s Baby, all my roasters, would y'all allow y'all 4-year-old son to talk to the president like that? I see you, Diamond Star. I'm going to ask everybody, drop a 4 in the chat if you would have corrected your son, if your son would have did that to the president. Drop a 4. Drop a 5 if you would have just let him just do what he do. Diamond Star says the clothes worn by dancers represent the Squid Game. Squid Game has something to do with the Koreans that went into concentration camps. They wore the same clothes as the dancers. Come on. He wasn't talking to him. He was talking to the paparazzi guy. Come on. He wasn't talking to Trump. He had been, oh, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on. My 4-year-old child, do you know how embarrassing that makes the father look? Do you know how embarrassing that makes the mother look? A 4-year-old child coming out of their mouth like that? Ain't nothing cute about that. Ain't nothing slick about that. That's what's wrong with these kids. That's part of the problem. Parents not being parents. At 4 years old, first of all, my son wouldn't even been there. First of all, not at 4 years old. And if my son was there, my son definitely would have been on his best behavior. Listen to the song. They not like us. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. I mean, do I got to go any further?
These are very difficult times right now for Europe diplomatically to understand how to navigate forward because the Trump administration is making it clear that it does not have their back like they've assumed for decades the United States would.
Yeah, I mean, Joel, the fact that the Trump administration clearly considers that the importance, impact, and even just relative importance, repeating that, is no longer in Paris or Madrid or even London. It's in Riyadh, and the ever-growing presence of Saudi Arabia as a power player.
Yeah, Jose, you're right. Look, Riyadh, Saudi, it is, first of all, Mohammed bin Salman was the first leader that Donald Trump called when he took the Oval Office a few weeks ago. He's going to Riyadh, obviously, because that is what he views as the center of his universe and where he wants to really build a deep relationship. But I think, again, the optics of having us, the United States, negotiating with Russia in Riyadh in a formal official setting. Now, remember, this is at the Secretary of State and Foreign Minister level. This is not the same as some phone calls here and there with President Zelensky to kind of talk just like he spoke with Putin. These are actual, real, hard, official negotiations convened by the Saudis. Europe has reason to be suspicious. There's a long history in Europe of what happens when countries invade other countries, divide them up, and then there's nobody to provide security. We've seen this in the 30s. It led to World War II. That's why there is a NATO, to avoid these kinds of dynamics. And now it looks like we're laying the groundwork again to create insecurity in Europe, which is very dangerous.
Yeah, Joel, I mean, if you think maybe some diplomats may be rethinking, for example, the Budapest agreement that was with the European nations and with Ukraine, that they would remove their nuclear weapons in exchange for, including support of the United States, for defense of Ukraine. Now, what is interesting, Joel, is there seems to be a new dynamic in the world, and it just seems as though, I'm just wondering what you think Ukraine can do to have a presence in what could be what happens to their future.
Well, we're seeing it now, for example, with the interview with President Zelensky. We're seeing him put forward red lines and ideas of what he wants to see a negotiating position be. But of course, what he's going to have to do now is align with his European allies, and they have to look at each other and say, we're in it on our own right now. It's Ukraine plus European countries. And he does have some tools. He has the minerals that, of course, the Trump team wanted to try to capture 50% of last week. He has other rhetorical tools. He can remind Donald Trump that Vladimir Putin is not to be trusted. No matter how much you want to deal with Putin, it's not really worth the paper that it's signed on unless there's real teeth to it. But I think he's going to have to unify with the Europeans and put up a common front. There will be a moment where he is challenged to accept what Vladimir Putin negotiates with Donald Trump. And that's going to be a real test, because it's quite likely that he could see his losing military aid ultimately as part of it if he turns away from that deal.
All right, let me give y'all a quick summary, and then we're going to get out of here. I still stand. My audio, y'all. I still stand 70% with Trump, 30% I disagree. All right? I'll say it again. I'm not feeling Elon Musk. I'm not. Y'all double tap the screen. We got 510 watching with only 40 likes. Double tap the screen and get my likes up. Double tap. That's all. That's all I ask. Double tap. Coffee Girl says those are good numbers, Baldy, 70-30. Right. I give y'all, but at least y'all know with Shank Rock, at least y'all know I do speak on the good, the bad, and the ugly. It ain't funny top flight. It ain't funny top flight. Y'all, at least y'all can say, well, Shank do speak on the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, hey, but y'all double tap that screen. Pavlin says, bro, if he saves you 10 trillion, then who cares? I cares. I cares. Man, see, we cut from a different cloth. I'm old school to the bone. I'm old school to the core. Money ain't everything in my world. If that was the case, I'd be rich. Let me explain something to y'all. If I went by money, if money moved me, all y'all funky asses would be coming up off y'all money. It don't move me. Diamond Star says all money ain't good money. I'm cut from that cloth. I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm old school. The money don't move me. If that was the case, I'd be rich. Do you think I had y'all funky asses over here in my chat, not giving me no super stickers, not giving me no cash apps, and I'm sitting up here reading y'all funky asses comments and answering y'all questions? What other platform gonna let y'all do that? The money don't move me, bro. Tell them Positive Vibe. The money don't move me. It don't. It don't, y'all. I stand on principles. I do got morals. I got values. I'm so for me, the money, it don't move me. I ain't getting none of that money. I'm old school. I keep it 100. Now, if I was getting some of that money, hell yeah. Call Elon Musk up and tell Elon Musk funky ass, send Shank Rock some of them trillions of dollars that you done found. Since Shank Rock some of them billions of dollars that you getting from NASA, then hell yeah, I'll be for Elon Musk. I ain't getting none of that money. And your funky ass ain't getting none of that money. Salute Rose. Salute Rose. So what are you talking about? He's saving. Who he's saving trillions of dollars? Not me. I'm still broke. He ain't saving you no trillions of dollars. Come on, people. Come on. Exactly. If you're loyal to money, you're loyal to nothing. Tammy says, but wait, you don't want money because it doesn't move you. Why would you need any of it? Frank says, they got to do this to start turning inflation the other way. Come on, we all living out here. We know what everything costs. Ridiculous. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. If y'all think for 1 second that what Elon Musk is doing is going to put trillions of dollars in our pocket, you really don't know nothing. You really don't know nothing. It ain't happening. It's not happening. Exactly, Tracy. It's not going to happen. Those trillions of dollars, the billions of dollars, it's going to go in their pocket. D-Money says money ain't nothing but a hammer and a wrench. I mean, come on, people. Listen to Kendrick Lamar's song. They not like us. Kendrick Lamar is one of the realest rappers you're going to run across. He's solid. Listen to him. Kendrick Lamar stands on principles. Listen to his music. Kendrick Lamar don't make booty shaking music. Kendrick Lamar don't make music talking about shooting up people. That's real. Come on, y'all. But for the Trump supporters, just because I disagree with him 30%, don't mean that I'm just saying he's a bad president. I think he's a good president. But I don't agree with everything from Trump. And if I don't agree with anything from Trump, just like I got the right to speak on things that I agree with, I got the same right to speak on things that I disagree with. And I'm going to leave y'all on that note. The move with Elon Musk is a bad move. See, I could break it down, but I would be just wasting my time. Every time I try to break things down, nobody believes me. It'd be a couple of y'all that believe me. Let me backtrack. Shout out to those that believe me. Shout out to those that believe me. Because it's a couple of y'all that do believe me. Ain't no need me breaking stuff down. It's not. And I ain't going down that road again. Look, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Salute.